Have you ever met one of those people who just can't be stopped? It's like they're unstoppable.
Yeah, I have.
Me too.
What's their mystique?
Nothing stops these people.
Don't stop.
Welcome to Mission Unstoppable with Coach Frankie Picasso. You're about to meet some of the most amazing people.
Stop. Don't stop.
They've accomplished their goals despite insurmountable odds. They beat adversity, physical hardship, and traumatic events, and emerged triumphantly. They're people just like you and me, and they're winners. Are you unstoppable? Here's Frankie to show you how.
Well, hello there, and welcome to Mission Unstoppable. I just love all you unstoppable people. And today is going to be no exception that you are going to meet another wonderful unstoppable person. You're going to meet a woman who has made some big choices in her life. She's chosen joy over sadness, happiness over anger, and she believes in putting positive energy into the world. For over 10 years, she's been a Reiki practitioner and teacher in both Usui and Karuna. She's a master teacher of Holy Fire Reiki. She's certified in the 7 Sacred Flames Reiki, studied serenity, vibrational healing. She's a level 3 with crystal bowls and illumination, and she's also received ongoing training in shamanism and quantum healing techniques. Now, she's a radio host herself on BBS Radio. Her show is called Why Am I So Happy? And a TV star on the Women's Broadcasting TV network. Her show is called Choices, Finding Your Joy. She was just recently featured in New York City Times Square by the Continental Who's Who organization as a Pinnacle Professional. You'll see her beautiful visage posted on Times Square. And she was currently featured for the second time in the Women of Distinction magazine for her achievements in business and in life. And she's the founder of Wellness Inspired. So please give a very warm welcome to my guest and friend, Paula Vail. Hi, Paula.
Hi, Frankie. Thank you so much, honey. I'm so honored to be on the show today.
Oh, just listen to all your great achievements. You surely have been unstoppable. And, I mean, you've been doing the Reiki practitioner thing for about 10 years, but let's go back in time and see who Paula was in the beginning. When you were a little girl, Paula, what was your family like? Like, did you have brothers and sisters, mom, dad? How did you grow up?
Well, it began, I'll give you the very beginning because that really changed my attitude in life. I was born a preemie baby. Mm-hmm. I got down to 2 pounds.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't supposed to survive the night. They actually brought in a priest and gave me my last rites. And
wow.
I survived. And
yeah.
So my whole life I've really felt gratitude and felt, God wanted me to live. And, I'm going to appreciate that and, really try to be a positive energy. So, and then as growing up, I had 2 big brothers. And, they were so fun. They always protected me and took care of things. And they and my father were carpenters, so they did everything.
Oh, nice.
So, I was very blessed. And then And was your mom a home wife? My mom was for a while, and then she worked in a restaurant as well.
And did you grow up in the West?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually grew up in a town called Centralia. And I still have that property. I have 8 acres there that just...
Oh, wow.
My heart is there. And my life's dream is to have a nonprofit animal rescue and Reiki retreat center.
Oh, I love that, Paula. That is so you.
Yeah,
so I'm going to stop you there for a moment, though, because that little girl who lived on that property, that little girl, when she was, sitting in a field or dreaming away her life, what were you going to be when you grew up?
Oh, gosh. At first, I wanted to be a nurse.
Okay.
And take care of people.
Yeah.
So, and then I wanted to be a stewardess and fly all over.
Oh, my God. Me too.
Yeah. But then I got a boyfriend, and that kind of ended that when I was older. But I loved animals. I knew I wanted to do something with animals as well. My first job was egg picker on a chicken farm, and that's how I bought my first car.
Oh, fun.
And then when I went to college, I was going to be an accountant. I love balancing. I love the numbers. And
Really? Wow.
yeah. And I used to work a graveyard shift at a restaurant and serve breakfast to my accounting professor and then see him at school. But I got a job in a restaurant after my associate's degree in Tacoma, and I ended up being in that restaurant for 27 years. I bought it when the owner retired, so I was a female restaurateur.
Nice.
Big restaurant. We sat about 200 people, and it was quite an experience, especially going from having been the manager for several years to being the owner. I mean, I think I shocked a lot of people.
Oh, I'm sure you shocked a lot of people. I mean, just listening to you talk, you're so soft and bubbly and lovely. And, here you ran a 200-seater restaurant. Nobody would expect that from you.
Yes, exactly. And, and I loved my customers. I adored my customers. I just, they'd give me birthday presents and Christmas presents.
Oh, wow.
I
bet you knew all their names, too.
I did. It was wonderful.
Yeah, you did.
So that was a lot of my history. But the growing up and being on that property and being around the animals, having a horse and, chickens, and that was a big part of my beginning.
What was your horse's name?
Oh, my gosh. What was her name? Misty. Yeah.
Okay. I had a Taffy and a Cavalier.
Oh,
we grew up similar. Yeah. I had horses too. I loved horses. I was horse crazy for years and years.
I never liked it.
Yeah. Well, we both share that love for animals. And so, okay, after the restaurant, I mean, you got married, you had children?
Yes, I got married, had children, and during the restaurant years, my husband, we had a great life. He had a good job. I was running the restaurant. We were doing great. We bought some property near the restaurant, built a house. But he had Crohn's disease.
Oh, that's hard. Yeah.
And he started having surgeries, and it was very, very painful. He got addicted to pain pills. He started adding alcohol to that, and just had a really couple rough years, and then I lost him.
Oh, dear. I'm so sorry.
Thank you. So then I was a single mom running a restaurant. But
wow.
I told the kids.
How old were you then? Decades.
In my 30s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty brave. Yeah. Pretty unstoppable.
Yeah. And when I made the decision to buy the restaurant, and that had been my goal, I told the kids, if we're going to do this is a family endeavor. This is us. Because you work long hours. You
do, yeah. You're devoted to that restaurant. And it was like American food. It was like just.
It was Italian food.
Oh, Italian food! Wow,
yeah.
Even better.
Yeah, and so the kids worked the restaurant with me. There was an apartment upstairs, and they could come to work with me a lot of times, and so all of that was really great. Yeah.
And so when did it end? The restaurant year?
It ended, I think it was like in 2006, maybe 5 or 6. I remarried. I wasn't looking for a man. I was too busy working, but of course he was sitting in the lounge every night, and I fell in love with him.
Oh,
so
dear.
I remarried, and then it was a few years after that I decided to sell the restaurant. But it was like cutting my arm off. I mean, it was such a big part of my life.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, if anybody's ever worked in a restaurant, you know how dedicated you are to it. And it's like hard to leave. It's just hard to leave. Yeah. It becomes your life. It really does. I get that. I totally get it. But you were married to somebody else, and so you kind of had to give it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, in order to make that work. So, I read that Reiki came into your life when Shotzi, your dog Shotzi, became ill. Now we've got about 3 minutes to our first break, so I'll just let you know that now. Shotzi what kind of a dog was Shotzi?
She was a white shepherd, beautiful. She owned my heart. We were so close.
And how old was she?
She was about 14. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, she had a tumor, and she wasn't doing well, and someone said, you should learn Reiki. And I had never heard of it. I had no idea. So I learned Reiki. I just fell in love with it. It's just life-changing, and I had Shotzi 2 more years.
Oh, really?
She improved
Wow.
so much. But she's the reason I learned the Reiki. Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? Because, I studied Reiki myself, and some people might think that at that age that it might have hastened her transition as well, right? Because it can also do that. But interesting, wow, 2 more years. That's for a big dog, and that's living a long time. Yeah. That's amazing. So you fell in love with Reiki, and I guess you started with Usui Reiki?
Yes, that's my passion. The Usui.
Oh, is it?
It really is. Yes.
And then the Karuna and the Holy Fire Reiki. And I want to talk to you about the different Reikis in the next segment. The differences between them and why so many.
Yeah.
And all of the quantum healing modalities that you're choosing and what you've gained or garnered from each one, because there's a lot of people out there. They choose Western medicine, they choose Eastern, and they choose a mix of both. But really, what everybody really wants is just a healing. However it's going to come to them. Yeah. So let's talk about quantum healing and those modalities, and see if we can give them some choices and a few bits of more of understanding of what it's like to have a treatment. Some people might be afraid to go have a treatment, and what it's like for both of you, really, because as the person the giver, you're also the receiver in the treatment, right?
I love it. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, everybody, don't go anywhere, because we have more Paula Vail to talk to you about. She's just amazing, as you can hear. We're going to talk about Reiki in the next segment. Then we're going to talk about her animals and about Reiki and animals and animal communication. And we're going to talk about manifestation and just bringing joy into your lives and why you should choose to be happy. Because, listen to her voice. Is she not like the happiest person you've ever heard in your life? We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. It's Mission Unstoppable.
That's right. Don't stop listening. Mission Unstoppable with Coach Frankie Picasso will continue right after these messages.
Stop.
Would you like to know how to bring more ease to all the decisions you need to make in life? Knowing your core values is the first step in Joyce's free live masterclass. You'll discover your top 5 core values in as little as 45 minutes. Join her now at freegiftfromjoyce.com.
It's the Fitness Minute with fitness expert Annette Hammond.
When it comes to exercise, don't overdo it. Some people push so hard for so long that they just burn out. And it's estimated that 10% of all exercisers experience burnout at one time or another. I monitor my clients, watch their workouts, and tell them to listen to their bodies. If you begin to feel more worn out than energized, despite your best exercise effort, it's time to scale back your fitness routine a little. Remember that your body needs time to adjust and adapt, and that the progress of exercise is made during the recovery period. If you don't give your body proper rest, you may find that you're taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back. Keep your exercise moderate and enjoyable, and most importantly, keep it consistent. For the Fitness Minute, I'm Annette Hammond. Visit our Facebook fan page at Fitness Minute with Annette Hammond.
Hey, it's Mission Unstoppable. I'm your host, Frankie Picasso, and my guest today is Paula Vail. And before we went to break, as I had mentioned during our introduction, Paula is an expert Reiki practitioner and teacher, and we're going to talk about all the modalities that she practices and the differences between the Reikis and why you might want to choose Reiki if you've never have, or maybe one over another. So, Paula, educate us, please. You started off in Usui Reiki, and you said that's your favorite. So let's start there.
It is. I began with Usui Reiki, and I actually took a few classes from a couple different people, including William Rand. I got my Master Reiki training in Peru.
Ooh, at Machu Picchu, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we got to talk about that. Don't let's just I got it in Peru. No.
Yeah,
Okay. Tell us about that moment.
When you open that beautiful door to Reiki, you do it through what's called an attunement, initially called an initiation. And I had the attunement on my birthday in front of the graves of the 3 princesses at Machu Picchu. I mean, it doesn't get better than that.
No, that's an experience you'll never forget.
Yes.
How long were you in Peru for?
I think it was about 14 days.
Wow. And you went with a group, I'm assuming?
Yep, went with the group and really loved the Sacred Valley. Stayed at this amazing resort in the Sacred Valley. And the owner of the resort, she was just awesome. She had never received Reiki, so I would give her Reiki sessions and just became good friends. And she had what's called a crystal healing bed.
Oh, wow.
I fell in love with that, so I came home, researched it, and went, Washington needs one of those. So I've had a crystal healing bed in my office for probably about 8 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so did you feel the energy in Machu Picchu?
Oh, my gosh. Do you feel the energy? Oh, my gosh, yes. Yeah, many, but even more, there were other places in Peru that we went into that I felt it was even stronger.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got your master's on your birthday in front of the 3 goddesses in Machu Picchu. That's like incredible. and so you're coming back and you're going, okay, now world, I'm ready to heal.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just loved it.
And teach it. And so what is it about Reiki that you love?
Oh, gosh. It's gotten to be over the years when people ask, what is Reiki? It's like, I just want to say it's beyond words because it is so many things. There's so much about it. It's so life-changing. I'll start with, just for a practitioner, when you open that door to Reiki, anyone can learn Reiki. Anyone can open that door with the initiation. You use sacred symbols. And it immediately, raises your vibration, connects you, this great connection with Source. I kind of consider it almost like a prayer modality as well because you're connecting with Source. And when you offer Reiki to others, to animals, to people, that Reiki energy is going through you to them. You're the vessel. So I don't believe anyone should ever say my Reiki's better than their Reiki because it's not your Reiki. You don't know it. This is coming from Source. And that goes through you. You're protected. People have asked me over the years, don't you worry you're going to pick up someone's negative energy? No, I couldn't be more protected. And I have, and I've been doing this all these years. We get healed as well when that energy is running through it. And I personally believe that the more you trust and have gratitude and just open up and let that flow and know the Reiki is going where needed for that client, just how much more powerful it can become.
Now, I noticed for myself when I gave Reiki, and I'm not doing it now, but when I did give Reiki treatments, I used to pick up a lot of things from my clients. And sometimes, I struggled with wanting to tell them or not. And in the end, I usually did tell them the things I picked up. And they understood them, what I was saying.
Your intuition gets
heightened. Yeah.
So your intuition must have just been on fire. It's like, because it does. It really increases our intuition. Oh, I love that, Frankie. Yeah, and that is a tough one with, do you say something or not say something?
Yeah, especially if you feel something, like that can be, because that you don't know what somebody's going to do with that information. But sometimes I'll just say, I saw, this place and it has this stream and it has a barn or whatever. They go, that's my farm, or whatever, right? Whatever they're thinking about. But sometimes, you feel an illness too, and do you want to say something or not? And that's something I would struggle with.
Yeah.
Have you ever, wondered what to do with something like that?
Personally, I don't say something because then you bring fear in.
That's right.
And that's a low vibration, and that can all, increase what's going on. So what I do is, if I feel this, I will stay on that spot longer.
Okay.
And just try to send the healing there. So that's just kind of how I
you approach it. Yeah. And so you have these different ones, the Karuna and the Holy Fire Reiki. Now, you study different ones. I guess everyone has a little bit different approach or comes from a different place.
Yes. And yes, so I studied the Karuna Reiki and the Holy Fire Reiki just to know it, kind of have it in I call it my Reiki soup. You open up that Reiki, you got your pot of soup, you can add this, add that, and that's what triggered me. I fell in love with the shamanism and the quantum healing and the sacred flames. So I learned those to have those and have the knowledge and understanding, but they really didn't float my boat, I'll say.
I hear you.
I just
You took it to find out what it was all about.
Yeah.
I did the same thing with a lot of things.
And Usui is...
But I wanted to ask you about the Holy Fire Reiki because they claim that, this comes from a higher vibration, that you have to be a little bit more elevated consciously to operate, under the Holy Fire Reiki. But it's they also say that there's more wonderful effects of feeling loved and that it lasts for a very, very long time. Would you say, and the feeling's more nurturing? Would you say that's true, or somebody selling Holy Fire Reiki?
Personally, I hate to, I don't want to be negative, but personally, I just, didn't care for it and is selling it. And
the problem
I had was I adore Usui Reiki. Mm-hmm. We are taught with Usui Reiki that once we're attuned with those symbols, we have them forever.
Right.
Okay. And when you learn Holy Fire, they say, oh, no, you have to give up that symbol. You don't have it anymore because you're going to have my symbol.
Oh, that's not right.
No.
It's not a competition. Yeah.
No, it's not. Yeah.
No, they should be enhancing, not taking.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I get that.
Yeah.
And so you worked with the crystal bowls. Do you like the crystal bowls?
I love the crystal bowls. I got into those in my shaman training.
Okay.
And I love them. So actually I have some in my office, and after a Reiki session, I play a bowl for a few minutes. It just kind of sets everything in.
And let's talk about your shaman training. I just love shamanism. So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
It was so fun. I took 2 different trainings from an amazing woman. She has a place in Sedona and in Los Angeles.
I love Sedona.
Oh, that's my favorite place on earth.
Me too. I love everything about it. The art, the mountains, the feeling. The only thing I don't love about it is how expensive it is.
I think we need to meet in Sedona.
Oh, absolutely. It. Yeah, perfect. We will definitely meet there, Paula. That's a promise. Let's go. I love it there. So pretty. Got my favorite art gallery, like ever. I would love to have my art there. Yeah, it's awesome. I agree. So you took the shamanism there.
I love it.
And for people who are listening, why don't you tell us what it is? Maybe they don't know what that is.
It's the oldest medicine there is. And it can be very powerful, very powerful. I learned things that oh my gosh. But also amazing. I've talked to people that have been healed, going to
So you can do soul retrieval? Did you do soul retrieval and things like that?
Yep, things like that. But you know what the funnest thing, and before I say that, I walked away with that because, you go on these amazing journeys and, like one journey, I went beyond death. I mean, and literally, I now see through new eyes. It's amazing. But the funnest thing of shamanism for me is the connection that it helps you open up to the earth, the animals, totality. Oh my gosh, I get so many messages all the time from the animal kingdom.
Nice.
Oh, it's so fun.
So who's your spirit animal?
A wolf.
Nice. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yep. And my shaman name is Shantara. So I can literally ask for myself or a client messages. And then just throughout the day, maybe take a walk or just throughout the day watch, and different signs will come to me. It's just amazing. I love that.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Ask for me. I'd like to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
Really cool.
Oh, I love that. Okay. And so today, in today's world for you, are you seeing clients like weekly, daily? What's your schedule like as far as that goes?
I am seeing a lot of clients and still teaching classes. I don't really advertise it, but I get contacted. And actually on my website, it says I'm not seeing new clients anymore, but I'm getting so many people contacting
Referrals,
me. Like later today, I'm doing an interview in a couple hours, and then I'm going to my office because I have 2 new clients because people are just contacting me wanting to come in for sessions, and I can't tell them no.
Yeah.
So
and are you doing Reiki over Skype too? Are you doing it long distance?
I don't over Skype, but I do send people long distance Reiki.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've got some great stories. I actually last year had a woman, and I interviewed her on my radio show a while back. But I was contacted by a relative of hers. She was in 4th-stage cancer, and they said, "Would you please send her Reiki?" She was in Australia. We just became good friends, and she went through, I think, to Mexico and did a bunch of, nutrition training.
Hold your story. We're going to have to go to commercial. Oh, I'm so excited. Good. It's a cliffhanger.
It's a great story.
Yay!
Okay.
While we're on commercial break, visit Paula's site. It's www.wellnessinspired.com. So wellnessinspired, all one word, .com. Go check her out. She's not taking new clients, but she might. You never know.
Yeah, I know.
You can always hope. There you go. We'll be right back with Mission Unstoppable.
That's right. Don't stop listening. Mission Unstoppable with Coach Frankie Picasso will continue right after these messages.
Stop.
It's the Fitness Minute with fitness expert Annette Hammond.
Did you know that the average teenager drinks twice as much soda as milk? Since 1983, sugar consumption in the U.S. is up 28%. Why is that? There are several reasons, but one of the most common is soft drinks. 20-ounce beverages have become the norm, and it's not surprising to find that 43% of our sugar comes from drinks. Sugar is blamed for poor nutritional diets. USDA data shows that people whose diets are high in added sugar eat less calcium, fiber, iron, protein, and many other important nutrients. Fat-free foods are also a culprit. Since sugar is fat-free, many people tend to think it's okay to eat as much as they want. Remember that just because a food is fat-free does not mean that it's calorie-free also. For the Fitness Minute, I'm Annette Hammond.
It's the Fitness Minute with fitness expert Annette Hammond.
In the United States, approximately 765,000 strokes occur each year. The National Stroke Association recommends the FAST method, F-A-S-T, for identifying potential signs of a stroke so you can act quickly to limit permanent disabilities and to save lives. F is for face. Ask the person to smile. A is for arms. Ask the person to raise both arms. S is for speech. Ask the person to repeat a simple sentence. T is for time. If you see that they cannot perform any of these tasks independently or together, call 911 immediately. Taking action quickly can save a life and minimize permanent impairment. When it comes to a stroke, remember F-A-S-T. I'm Annette Hammond. For other fitness and weight loss tips, visit our website at AnnetteHammond.com.
It's Mission Unstoppable Radio. I am your host, Frankie Picasso, and my guest today is the lovely, charming, delightful Paula Vail. And I know that you're hearing all the joy and happiness in her voice and in everything that she does. And she was telling us a story. We had a cliffhanger. Woo! Okay, tell us. Let's recap, if you can, for us.
Yeah.
And
we're
we'll
talking about long distance Reiki and how powerful it is. It's just amazing. I mean, they even have scientific studies now of people that get Reiki before and after surgeries. But I was sending long distance Reiki to someone who I was connected with.
In Australia.
In Australia. She went through the Gersten Institute, and I sent her Reiki for about a year and a half. She's now cancer-free.
Beautiful.
And we became good friends, and she flew to Seattle last summer to take a Reiki class from me.
Oh, wow.
So wonderful to meet her, and, you know, I love teaching. It's so fantastic, and I used to do large classes, but now I limit my classes to like 1 to 3 students, so pretty much people contact me and we set up a class. I really love a one-on-one day with people, but anyway, that was great. I mean, and I have sent, I'll give you an example of a hospital. I sent Reiki to a relative who was in the Seattle hospital to have a double lung reduction.
Transplant? Oh, wow.
Which is like a really major surgery. I think they break her ribs or something, and they said, you know, you're going to be in at least 14 days in the hospital. So I actually went up there the night before and the next day and then sent long-distance Reiki from there. She came home after 8 days.
Oh, wow.
It was a record.
That's fantastic. You're very powerful.
I
or you're
mean,
powerfully connected. Let's
the
say
Reiki.
that.
Yeah, the Reiki. But, yeah. And it's amazing. And I read once in a book many years ago that, you know, someone felt long-distance Reiki was more powerful than hands-on because there's no distractions, and it's just...
You know what? I kind of feel like that about coaching, and I feel like that about my animal communication. I have better success when I communicate with animals. Here's a segue for you. With animals, when I don't know them in person or see them in front of me.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Sense. I think there is a distraction. And even coaching, like I like to coach on the phone and not see people's faces. I think that you hear the voice or the breath pattern or you feel that change. And I think that there's just something intuitive about it where you get distracted by, you know, the hair and what they're doing, they're fidgeting or whatever it is that's sitting in front of you. Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense. And it is, you know, I found with Reiki, when you give Reiki to someone close to you, you know, a family member or friend, someone you're really dear to, it is really difficult because you get so emotional.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
So that's very interesting. Yeah. Well, let's talk about animals, our love for animals, and what you want to put out into the world, because I love that you want to have a sanctuary. So let's talk about that. Now, you were young and you had dogs and you had horses, and did you just love all animals? I wanted to be a veterinarian. That was like the very first thing I wanted to do, and be a jockey.
Oh my gosh! Great.
And an airline stewardess and a radio host.
I love it.
I couldn't choose. Yeah, I know. It's so funny. I would still love to do all those things today. You know, like I have a passion and a love for animals, and I know that you do too. And I mean, try to find a picture of you without your dog. So,
yes, I love them. I am so passionate about animals. I sign petitions constantly.
Yeah.
I'm so passionate. And animals, what Reiki does for them, I have, you know, all 4 rescue dogs, 2 rescue cats. When I was young, we had chickens and geese, and I even had a deer for a while. Someone had hit a deer on in front of us.
So you were, you're pretty amazing. And people, you know, that could be a specialty for somebody who wanted to go into Reiki, and it is for some, just doing Reiki for animals. Yeah. Absolutely. And you know that they're really getting the effects of it. Like you can see them relax. You can really see it in them.
I have clients that bring their dogs with them. So they get Reiki, the dog gets Reiki. And I'll give you an example of a dog. I had a woman from Seattle contact me. Her dog had been attacked and it had surgeries. She had spent $10,000 on surgeries. It couldn't even drink or eat.
Wow.
And it was on tubes, and they said there was nothing else they could do, and so she brought it for a few Reiki treatments, and the dog's doing great now. So the dog's healed, thank goodness. But it's also hilarious with animals.
Mm-hmm.
So, dogs sometimes, you'll give them Reiki for the first time, and they look at you like, really? You can do that? Are you doing that?
Yeah, they're so cute.
On the property.
I can't believe that they, one of the things I find extremely sad, and when you have it as a pet owner, is that a lot of times saving your animal comes down to how much money you have.
Yeah. Oh, I know, Frankie. That breaks my heart. I know.
Me too. Me too. Like $10,000. How many people would spend $10,000? I know a lot of people who would not spend $10,000.
Yeah, I know. It's so true.
It just depends how much of a family member you really feel they are. But I there was a dog here that was attacked last week and died, and had to be put down anyway because of its injuries. And of course, it was like $8,000 to $10,000 to save it. And it was a young family with 3 little kids. Like, I'm sure he would have done anything he could, but they couldn't promise him that he would survive. And at that point, you're like, maybe the kindest thing is to put him down. They said that 90% infection rate after all the time, and you have to really make those decisions for yourself. But I do find it like that's just too expensive. Come on. Craziness. But I mean, this is an alternative. Keep your pet healthy, and if they've got arthritis and different kinds of ailments, that Reiki can certainly help them.
Yeah, it sure
and
can.
Even passing over gently can help them. Like, I had a bunny in my backyard who was dying, and I sent it Reiki, and
I love that.
Yeah, like, I was crying, but I just wanted to help it.
And Frankie, let me put this out there to you and all the Reiki practitioners that are listening. On the third Saturday of every month between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. in whatever time zone you're in, please join me in sending some long-distance Reiki to the entire planet's animal kingdom.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I'll be there.
Every month. And it creates this big, huge wave. Yeah.
Yep.
I would love that.
Nice. I love that. Oh, Paula, I love that. That's awesome. Yay. I'll make a big announcement about that. I love it. Third Saturday of every month between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. wherever you are in the world.
Yes.
Very cool. Very cool. So tell us about you've got the 8 acres, and what are you going to do with it?
Well, my goal is to create the nonprofit animal rescue.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I have renters there, and they really want to buy it, but I just can't do it. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And what kind of animals do you want to put there?
I'd like to be able to rescue horses, goats, dogs, cats, anything like that.
Yeah.
And I could do Reiki classes. We could have retreats and give the animals Reiki. It would be just wonderful.
Yeah, I like that a lot. How is Washington State? I know that Arizona, or not Arizona, but New Mexico was not very wild horse friendly as far as wanting to save them. They'd rather kill them, which I think is disgusting. But as a state, like, how is Washington? Do you know?
Well, they used to be better. They're not as, they're allowing much more to happen, and killing the wolves in eastern Washington, it's absolutely horrific what they're doing and allowing now. And
why haven't they learned?
I don't know. Shooting them from helicopters where you wound them, they can run
for
miles. You're chasing them. They're throwing up. And now they've recently in the last couple months, our government has passed that law where they can shoot bears and wolf cubs in their dens, and it's just unbelievable. But in Thurston County, where my property is, I've heard that there's a real problem with horses. People just go and dump them up in the woods somewhere. So there's a need there for the horses. So I really would want to be able to bring horses into that. There's a lot of deer come on the property. And
Sure.
Over the years, there's been times where I'm sending the deer Reiki. One time I had one just kind of lay down right in the front yard. They all feel it. It would be so wonderful.
Wow. Well, there's a story, and this is a true story. I'm going to say it really quick because I think we need to talk about it really quick, if that's okay with you.
Yes.
In the 1920s, in Yellowstone National Park, they killed all the wolves. All the wolves were, eradicated. Anyway, so they killed all the wolves, and then I think it was like in the 50s or 70s or something, they brought them all back. And what happened was that all of the animal population, all of the land, all of the even the water and the banks and everything all got reconstituted. So by bringing the deer had overpopulated, the bunnies and everybody had just overpopulated, and nobody was getting what they needed. There was no plant life left to eat. There was nothing, because the bunnies and the deer had eaten it all, and just everything, affects everything, right? Yeah. So biologically, evolutionary. So when they reintroduced 10 wolves, the wolves ate the deer, the bunny, the foliage started to come back. Animals didn't starve anymore, and even the water returned because of the embankment. I don't know how it all, because of the plant life had gone away. Now the plant life is back, and everything had evolutionarily changed, biologically changed, and it was as it was meant to be. So do not go out and kill these wolves and the bears, because they're necessary. They're necessary to the environment.
Yeah.
Like if it's out of whack, then, nature will look after it.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
man doesn't need to do that.
So happy you mentioned that, Frankie, because it's so true. There's balance, and we need to keep that balance.
Yeah.
Don't kill the wolves, the coyotes, everything you can find.
Put your hands on. Yeah.
Part of the environment, and they're part of how everything works.
We're going to go to commercial break, Paula. Sorry, but when we're on break, you guys can look up that story. It's a true story. Look up Yellowstone National Park and wolves, and you will see how it all became rebalanced. Yeah. No need to go kill. We'll be right back with Paula Vail on Mission Unstoppable Radio.
Listening. Mission Unstoppable with Coach Frankie Picasso will continue right after these messages.
Stop.
It's words you never heard.
I had a weird weekend relaxing and reading through Mental Floss when I came across these rip-roaring R words. I recognized a few of them, such as the old 18th century Scottish word ramthieselt, which means fatigued or exhausted. A couple more great R words are rucketly-tucketly, meaning crumpled or gathered up and ruched. Ruche is commonly used today to describe a flattering blouse or top. Rabbity is a 16th century word for an innocent fool, while raffle-coppin is a rash, impetuous person, or maybe just somebody that gets carried away with our words.
It's words you never heard.
I'm Carolyn Davidson, and you can have fun challenging your words you never heard vocabulary with my free app, Too Funny for Words.
It's the Fitness Minute with fitness expert Annette Hammond.
In your quest to be more active, lose weight, and or eat a healthy diet, you need to chart your course. Having a plan is the way to go. The old adage, fail to plan and plan to fail, holds true. In order to reach your goal, you need to have a specific strategy. Don't just say, I will exercise more. Instead say, I will walk for at least 30 minutes, 7 days a week, and then do it. Don't say, I will eat more fruit and vegetables. Instead, set the goal of having at least 1 to 2 vegetables or fruit at each meal. Write your goals down and post your outline where you can see it. Every day, review it and make a plan of how you will incorporate those strategies that day. Chart your course and you will reach your destination. For the Fitness Minute, I'm Annette Hammond, keeping you healthy, happy, and fit.
Hey, we're back. It's Mission Unstoppable. I'm your host, Frankie Picasso. My beautiful guest today is Paula Vail. And I know as you've been listening to Paula, you've gotten a real sense of who she is. She's a gentle soul who puts positive, wonderful energy out into the world. And hopefully she's inspired you to try Reiki or practice Reiki maybe, or just try any of those healing modalities or shamanism. I haven't told you this, but we're going to talk about it now. She is also a radio host. I think I mentioned it briefly, but she is a radio host. Why Am I So Happy? And a TV star and Choices, Finding Your Joy. Let's talk about, we're in our last segment here, Paula. So let's talk about Why Am I So Happy? Now, you named your show, Why Am I So Happy? Why are you so happy?
Because I've been asked that my whole life. I really have.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember over the years, occasionally somebody looking at me, what are you so happy about? But,
that's so funny.
It's not that I haven't had challenges. I've had
obviously your husband passed away and yeah.
And but I really believe happiness is a choice.
Yeah.
And I believe gratitude is a big part of that, whether we look at what we're grateful for or we look at what we're lacking and we want and we don't have.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we create our mindset, and I really believe happiness is a choice.
I do too.
Yes, and when we choose that and we choose a positive mindset, I believe that raises our vibration. It affects what we manifest. Everything. It's huge, and it all starts with us.
It does.
It's really exciting to know we have.
We have that power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people always say, "How do I change my life?" I go, "Change your thought." That's all. Exactly. It's that simple and that hard, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's simple but powerful. Yeah. I love it.
So you mentioned manifesting. I'm glad that you did because I know that you really love manifesting. So talk to us a little bit about how you manifest and maybe some of the things that you've manifested that to yourself that you brought to yourself and are so excited about.
Yes. Well, I'll talk about the radio and TV, but I will mention something briefly that has to do with the restaurant.
Okay.
I had run this restaurant for years, and the owner had promised me I could buy it when he retires. Well, it came to that time. He had told me what I needed to save for a down payment. I did that. All of a sudden, the down payment was 4 times more.
What?
Okay. I didn't have it. He had another buyer interested. I went to the bank. I was, a single mom, and, they pretty much said,
You're SOL.
Yeah, little lady, you want to buy a restaurant, right? And laughed me out the door. So I was heartbroken. I was just, I guess what's meant to be. And I was telling a customer, he was a doctor, him and his wife, regular customers, well, it looks like I'm not going to buy the restaurant. And he said, why, Paula? And the next morning, knocking on the restaurant door was his accountant with all the paperwork, and that doctor co-signed a loan.
Oh, wonderful.
I was just their favorite waitress.
Oh, that's amazing. Isn't that great? He took a chance on you.
And a year later, I got him off the loan. And our joke was always I was going to name a booth after him.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Was it heart attack booth or something?
Yeah. So, you just never know.
Amore?
So, I guess don't give up on your dream because you never know.
That's amazing. I like that. I love that. Did that ever occur to you that did you put that out there? Gee, it'd be great if somebody came in and co-signed the loan for me?
No, I just kind of, thought the angels and the and all that, so.
We'll talk about an angel investor.
I know. Wasn't it something?
Yeah. So how did you get wanting to be on the radio?
Well,
how did that come about?
I didn't want to be on the radio. I had never even imagined it. And I was approached by Voice America Radio, and they said, we want to have our first worldwide show about Reiki, and we researched and looked at your website and da-da-da. And I was like, okay, I'd have to think about that. Will you call me later? So they called about a month later and said, we really want you to do it, Paula. So I did, and I was on Voice America 2.5 years. My show was in the top 3 on the Health and Wellness Channel. And I fell in love with interviewing people. the people I met. And at first
It's
I
so
was
fun,
really
isn't it?
scared. Yes.
Yeah,
And I
I love
wanted
it
to
too.
say at the end of every show, love, hugs, blessings. And I thought, oh my gosh, if I tell people I love them, they're going to think I'm a weirdo. And after about 3-4 months, I went, you know what? I have to be Paula. I just have to be
Yes.
Paula. And so that's what I do. And I
Wow.
started the BBS show. The Voice America show was called For the Love of Reiki.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started the BBS show about a year and a half ago. The Why Am I So Happy? Started that. And when I was approached by Shay Vaughn, the mother of the actor Vince Vaughn, to become a host on WBTVN TV, I knew I couldn't do 3 shows. It was just too much. So then I ended the Voice America show and started the TV show. And I had not been thinking TV. It had not even entered my mind, but it come about. And, you know, after I started the radio show, I was featured in the Women of Distinction magazine, put on the cover. From that article, I was contacted and put in Times Square. And
that's awesome.
You know, it's all just exploded. And I'm going to New York City in December to receive a award for Wellness Coach of the Year. And,
oh my gosh, congratulations.
Thank you. It's this big gala formal dress at the Ritz-Carlton, and I've never been to New York City, so I'm really
it's exciting, yeah.
Ashton Kutcher is going to be given an award for his human trafficking work, and there's going to be like a top doctor, top attorney. Man of the Year, I was told the gentleman from, you remember the movie Aaron Brockovich, so I'll get to meet him. So, I mean, it's just one thing after the other.
You're going to be in great company. Yeah, look at you.
Yeah.
Good girl. Yeah. I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited for you.
Oh, thank you.
And wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And, you know, I mean, this is, I don't know how old you are, Paula, but I'm going to guess that we're similar.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, is this like the third quarter? Are we in the third quarter here, maybe?
I like that.
I mean, definitely a little past midlife. And how extraordinary to be really lighting the world up on fire at this stage of life.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, we're starting things and improving things, and things are exploding. And, you know, people think about retiring, and we're just getting started again.
Yes. That is so true. And we're a team, Frankie. We're so connected and together sharing, you know, positive energy and insight, and it's so wonderful.
It is. It's amazing. You know, people don't, you know, that's why I have Unstoppable. Like, you don't, not just don't stop living and stop, you know, being involved, but, you know, like, you've shown how unstoppable you have been through your whole life, and nothing's going to stop you from getting what you want. You know, there might be a detour, there might be, you know, a Hail Mary, there might be whatever, but things will, you know, you prevail. And you could have been defeated. You could have said, oh, I didn't get the loan, so I'll just let that go, the restaurant go, and my husband passed away, so I'm just a single mom, so, you know, I probably should just, you know, lay down now and die or whatever. But you didn't, and you kept going, and, you know, that energy that you throw out comes back to you tenfold all the time, I'm sure. And look, you know what? You don't even have to advertise, because it's so word of mouth that you've got 2 new clients today and you didn't even ask for them.
Yes.
Yay for you.
Thank you.
Go to wellnessinspired.com and, you know, look for Paula, look for her radio show, Why Am I So Happy? Look for her TV show, Choices, Finding Your Joy. Look for me on both shows, because I will be there eventually. I have been.
Yeah.
You'll see me with Paula on TV.
Yeah.
And I was so thrilled to be with her, and so thrilled to have her on Mission Unstoppable. She's an amazing person and an amazing guest. And how extraordinary to be at Machu Picchu on your birthday receiving your master's in Reiki.
Yeah.
Wow.
And do you know what happened right after the attunement? A big condor came and flew over our heads.
Oh, my gosh. Talk about symbolism.
Oh, I know. And our guide that was with us, she was like, oh, my gosh, you don't even realize how powerful that is. And I was like, yeah, that's good.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. So in the Women of Distinction magazine, what was that? What's that article about?
There's been 2 different articles. The first,
this is your second one.
Yeah, the first edition, they put me on the back cover, and then the last edition, which I believe came out last December, I'm on the front cover. But the articles talk a lot about Reiki, manifestation, that type of thing, my business, and, you know, I think I mentioned in this last article, something I really put out there and share with students with manifestation. You know, I look at it as, with one hand, we have our goals, we have our research, we have the work we're doing to our goals. But with the other hand, have it wide open to what can manifest when we connect to that flow of manifestation, because things can come that we never even dreamed about. So don't, you know, have your focus so much on a goal that you shut the door and you
to other opportunities. Yeah.
So be open to both. Yeah. So, but that's basically kind of what the articles were about.
And you know, be conscious too, because, you know, not only when you're manifesting or, you know, using the law of attraction, when you've got your energy and you're focused on something, it's, you know, whether you're conscious or not, positive or negative, you're attracting it to yourself. And so when you're conscious, at least you're consciously bringing things to you and not unconsciously bringing things that you don't want to your life. So that's, you know, just a little hint there.
And even
we go ahead. We got 1 minute left and it's yours.
Even what an act of kindness can manifest.
Oh, yes.
You know, simple things like that we can put out there in the world.
You know, I mean, you see a lonely person, like, how difficult is it to say, hello, how are you? Look them in the eye. You know, maybe that's the first words they were able to speak to a real person all day. Like, you don't know what was happening in people's lives, but certainly a kindness, the door held open, whatever, you know, is not a difficult thing to do and can be huge to somebody. We have been speaking with Paula Vail. Please go to her website, www.wellnessinspired.com. You've listened to Mission Unstoppable. I thank you so much for joining me each and every week. And thank you so much, Paula, for being my guest today.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you so much for having me. I just had a blast. And
indeed, our pleasure.
I'm excited. And I look forward to your TV show, I believe.
Turn defeat into victory. You've been listening to Mission Unstoppable with Coach Frankie Picasso. See you next time, and always remember,
Don't stop.